Hello, everybody. Welcome to Betway's Weighted to Win. It's also a Betway race day today out at Turffontein in the final build-up. As we look in the last couple of weeks now, the Betway Spring Challenge, we're looking forward to some exciting action coming up in a couple of weekends. All right, a reminder about the X platform. We're on there. At Weighted to Win is our handle. Please go and join and follow us on that basis. You can comment there as well and give us some of what you like. We'd love to hear what you fancy in the race. And also got our WhatsApp. There's our number that's on the screen. You can just send your name and your email address to that and they'll join you. Betway, well, they do certainly sponsor Weighted to Win, as you well know by now, and there's an opportunity for you to open up. There's a code that you can use and scan, open up your Betway account if you haven't already done so. A reminder about all of what they do. The Betway Insure Bet is one of the platforms they offer race number one. Daryl Marie's with me. Wiley Riley. You haven't heard from your friend about Wiley Riley,
Yeah,
I take
Clyde,
it, eh? All is
last week was the worst week ever with regards to exotics.
Yeah.
The worst week ever. So we need to pull up our socks. Never mind Wiley, Riley. Never mind all that nonsense. We need to tip winning exotics this week.
Yeah, that's
And we're going to start today with the pick six.
Are we?
I'm telling the viewers out there, I'm very, very confident with
We're
the
going
pick
to catch
six.
it.
Cost is 288 Rand, very affordable.
Okay. Well, look, if we haven't got the 288, can we get money here in the first?
We can.
Yes.
By playing to beat this favorite, I think it's too short in the market.
Right.
I give him a winning chance, Clyde, of that there's no doubt. You know, he made his comeback run last time out. They put the money down like the result was known.
Yeah.
You worked on course.
Yes, there was
that
a lot
day,
of money
and
that
you
day.
followed the trade.
I
You
followed
were even-
Interbet
Yes.
on that day, and that was only one platform. So
You were announcing the trade like
yeah,
like
that's
you
quite
had
right.
a bet.
No, yeah, I don't bet.
Anyway, he holds one of his biggest rivals over here in Kudzu. But you know what I find very interesting over here, Clyde, is Johan Janse van Vuren's left in a few runners that I thought might have been withdrawn by now. So maybe there's a tactical fair gain on over here that could enhance Kudzu's chances of reversing that form. Kudzu was staying on. That was over the 1700. They now both attempt the 2000. But you know a horse who isn't out of it on collateral form, Clyde, is number 4, In a Blue Moon. Now, do you know who won from that form line last time out?
Yes, I do.
House of Romanov,
Yes.
as well as Antananarivo. But
Yes.
House of Romanov is the interesting horse over here, Clyde. He beat In a Blue Moon by 2.7 lengths. Have a look at Birthright. Beaten 2.2 lengths by House of Romanov. So
Yeah.
on a line through House of Romanov, who says In a Blue Moon's not without
No.
a chance over
And
here?
we've been talking about the Scarlet Pimpernel form line.
Yeah.
We did say, I think, we want to follow that form line. It's worked out already, even if In a Blue Moon doesn't win. But maybe that is a bit of a shrewdy in the race to punt. Well, I mean, for those of you who do, it's priced up at 10, 11 to 1 at the moment. So you can get some action there.
Oh, there we go, Clyde. Get on.
All right. Well, I take exotics. I don't punt straight up. All right. Well, let's see. This is the story. Bipot. This is what we are going to take. The bipot is like this: 3, 4, 5, by 1 and 2, by 2 and 4, by 1, 2, 3, by 1, 2, 3, 4, by 4 and 9. That cost 288 Rand, that bipot. Welcome back, guys. Let's get on to the place accumulator. Betway Total Rewards Club. It's a maiden plate over 1450 meters. Note that 4 and 7, when we did the show this morning at about 10 o'clock, they're both not running in race number 2. In terms of the market, Daryl, they've got Alec Ledsor's favourite at Kenya, Just Nuisance. It's priced up 7 to 2, but does appear to be an open race. I guess Bob is in. Yeah, I don't know much about Bob. It's a first timer for Tony, and Craig Zack is riding. 4 to 1 the price.
Yeah.
And I believe there's been a bit of action for it. There's been some support. I don't know, necessarily to what extent, from where it's coming. But anyway,
Yeah.
What do you like?
There's no comment in the front of the computer form with regards to Bob. Mark de Kock's assistant was interviewed on Track Talk by Andrew
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Apparently, they're expecting improvement, Clyde, from number 12, Japanese Star.
Yeah. He actually said.
Excuse me, Clyde.
He actually said.
Each way chance.
He said each way chance.
Yes.
Number 12.
And with regards,
And he did say it's just my opinion, as the wasn't Mark, he's one of his head guys. Vengi. And he said it each way, gives it an each way chance.
And number
Japanese
6 will be needing further.
Okay.
I think that's what I recall them saying. Anyway, Clyde, I do believe the current favourite is the right horse in the race, Just Nuisance. His later starts is no doubt his best to date. Clyde, he finished third on that occasion. Now, the first 4 past the post in that race are going to win races. They're all above average sorts. So I think that's the strongest form in the race. You know, the horse that finished 5th, close on 4 lengths behind him, came out and ran second to Barbaresco. So I think he's the right horse. And Alec Laird was also interviewed on Track Talk, and he said there's not going to be much separating the two of them, but because Justin Nuisance has got fitness on his side, he's leaning towards him. The stable companion Golden Pavilion has been rested and gelded. It's here he goes. But I've decided to back up Just Nuisance with a horse that's very exposed and doesn't have the strongest form. But I think he's going to love the step up to 1450. Cracks a great draw, number 1, trip to States. And he gets a tongue tie fitted for the first time, Clyde. So I'm hoping he is in contention this time on the inside track, turning for home. And I can see him finishing thereabouts. So 2 from 1 for me.
Okay. And don't forget, we haven't heard about it, but I mean, you heard, the interview from the Mike de Kock stable regarding number 12, Japanese Star. Just don't leave it out completely. Now, if you haven't opened your Betway account, there's a chance to do so. Just scan away over there and in you go and open your account and bet. Remember all of the rewards you get with Betway. Now we need to get a place accumulator on. So let's do that. This is a look at what Daryl's worked out for us, where he's gone as follows. No bankers in the PA. It's a 384 Rand perm. And that's the exotic or the permutation that he has worked out for you. Right, let's get on now. It's Pick 6 time, and this event on the card is the Betway Aviator Maiden Plate, and it's run over 1,000 meters. The market's got number 4, Presley, as favourite, 14-10 for Jan Janssen van Vieren. Gavin Loreen is riding. Second choice, number 6, Empress Game at 2-1. And number 2 on the card, let's have a look at that, Griffin Park, who's priced up at 9-2. You can get 7 or 8-1 about the others in the race. Daryl, let's talk about it. You said you were quite keen on the Pick 6. You like the perm?
2 horses in the opening leg, Clyde. Yep. Numbers 2 and 4. Let's touch on Presley. You know, whoever was presenting on course that day that he made his debut spoke to Johan. And Johan actually said this is a very nice horse in the making. He's going to win his races. And he put up a sparkling debut behind his stable companion, who found all the money on that occasion, Chocolate Bomb. That form line has obviously worked out well, Clyde. I mean, Chocolate Bomb won again. And then Daring Act franked that form too. My concern with him is, although, excuse me, Clyde, that was over 1,000 meters, he didn't quite get into the race. Like, he was staying on, he was running on. So 1,000 meters on the inside track, could it be his undoing? He was slowing to stride on that occasion. I'm certain he's going to be staying on slightly. But in my mind, I think a horse like number 2, Griffin Park, could get away from him on the inside track over 1,000 meters. So I make him his immediate danger. I expected more from him last time out at the Vaal, but it was a Vaal 1,200 up the straight. He came out the pens, he was over racing, doing too much. They try to restrain him. And take note, the tongue tie goes on, Clyde. And the excuse me, Clyde, sure. The tactics have been, well, according to the Hollywood website comments, are to let him stride. Okay, and so I like that.
Might end up in the front.
I think if he gets to the front and he manages to settle, he can give a kick.
Okay.
So 2 and 4 in the opening leg of the Pick 6.
You may well end up in front. Then that all Circle of Grace came from Eiffel Tower. Some are questioning the Eiffel Tower form, but there's been a Frank form line or form horse from there already. So is it those two, Griffin Park, Presley? Well, Daryl seems to think so. It's a Pick 6 as well. Here it is. We'll put that pick six up for you, 2 and 4, so those two horses. And then you'll notice we're not bankering anything in the pick six today. We've gone light in a couple of legs, a couple of boat races we thought today, and that total cost 288 Rand. Welcome back. Let's take a look. It's handicap over 1,000 meters. Betway back the box. That was unlucky, eh? Wasn't that? Do you think that was unlucky with the Irish game?
Don't worry, Clyde. You know when they say prep run?
Yes. Yeah,
prep run.
Yeah. But I thought
But
Ireland
you got the money on Ireland. You were happy with that result.
But I thought Ireland, I thought Ireland played particularly well, though, I have to say.
And how do you think they're going to go if they meet in the final?
Well, I think with our kicking straight and who's our main kicker that's going to come back for that game?
Pollard.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back by then. So I'm hoping Betway are feeling. I spoke to Jonathan Bloomberg. He's a bit sore, but he'll be okay, I think. When we saw Victor Matfield, let me tell you something. I'll remind you. We saw Victor Matfield at a function, you and I, a couple of months ago. And I said, Vic, who? He says, Ireland, South Africa. That was a couple of months back. He predicted.
So you got all those alternates
going? No, never. Tell me now about the Rugby 8. You know about this Rugby 8 that the Tab are promoting?
Tell me about it, Clive.
Well, it's very good. I think go on to Tab for racing, search Rugby 8. A lot of people are playing it, and it's certainly worth getting involved. Those pools are looking very good. So Rugby 8, don't forget. Now, if you haven't opened your Betway account, please do. There you go. Just take your phone and scan it to that, and then up and away. You just put your information. It's all there, and it takes you straight to the link. And you can get playing. All right, so Daryl, we're talking about pick sixes now. We're talking jackpots, the fourth race. This morning when we did the show, let's have a look. How were they betting? They were betting 14-10 Siberian Steel as the one to beat. You haven't banked it, but you've got one or two others.
You'll see my perm actually included number 2, Tayuba, Clyde. She was actually going to be my number 1 pick, but she's come out. So I'm happy to double up with Siberian Steel if he happens to win. I think he is the right horse in the race. Clyde, he has a horse that's very... consistent. He's knocking at the door loudly, and he's ready to win his next race, Clyde. On paper, I've narrowed it down to 2 runners, himself and Pendragon, and you can see he's actually beaten Pendragon, and he's better off at the weights. So I'll give him a strong winning chance. Take note, Clyde. This is apprentice and young jockeys handicap.
Yes.
So I hope they're not going to be cutting throats up front, because I'm sure they are going to go very quick in this race. I mean, you got the likes of Happy Analia and one other. I saw Clean Living that could really get on with it early. And Siberian Steel often shows a lot of pace himself. So I'm hoping he just gets a lead, settles in like second on the fence. It would be ideal. But Pendragon on this track and trip, or on this course and distance, Clyde, he's most effective. You can see he's had 7 runs for 2 wins in 2 seconds. He loves it here. Trent, I'm hoping, will give him a nice patient ride just off the pace, and I can see him and Siberian Steel fighting it out.
Okay, so you're making it those two. There we go. We got the information from Daryl. Those are the two to battle it out. Now that Tayuba's not running, here we go. We'll put our first jackpot up for the day, and it goes 1, 2, and 3 by 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just remember the scratchings in there. So the tote favourite Siberian, which is likely to be tote favourite, happens to win. You double up by 1, 2, 3, 4 second leg, by 4 and 9 in the third leg, and then 5 and 6. Next up, race number 5 on the card. Okay, let's talk about the race. It's a graduation plate firstly, so I'm going to find out from Daryl who are the best weighted horses in this graduation plate. It's the Betway Boost, so don't forget about your Betway Boost, and the way to do that is just go in there, scan your code, go open your account, and you'll find out so much more about how that all works. I Am Giant is favourite. It's a 2-1. Number 4, second choice is Mount Pilatus at 22-10. I'm wondering if there isn't money for that, because the last time I looked, I'm sure that was bigger. There was longer in the odds, or greater odds. 1 Unzen is at 4-1. And Johan's got another horse in there called Red Bomber, which I'm sure is not out of it. Daryl will agree with number 3 on the card. It's priced up at 4-1. Firstly, best weighted, And have
Yeah.
they backed this horse, Mount Pilatus, or was it
Yeah.
always...
Firstly, Johan's only got one runner in here, Clyde.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Crawford
yeah.
James, I'm a giant. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So.
Now, well, Johan's got
let's-
two. He's got Try Me and Red Bomber, doesn't he?
Oh, sorry. You're sharp.
Right.
You're not sleeping. Yeah, Clyde. One with a chance.
One with a chance.
Best weighted over here. Have a look at the column. Sure, Clyde. I need time off. I need to get to this lung
We can
specialist.
now give you October. How's that sound?
Unzen, best
Unzen.
weighted.
Yes.
10 pounds or 5 kilograms best in.
Yeah.
In saying that, I think he earned that rating over 1400, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Anyways, comeback run, 1,000 meters, encouraging. At the weights, I know he earned his rating over a furlong further, but he's got a chance. I'm Giant, very, very nice horse in the making, Clyde. Here's a horse we haven't seen the best of yet. He's going to win his races. He's going to go through the divisions. That's for certain. But have a look at him, Clyde. Why is he rested so often? I don't know if they're just planning his career, but it's a little bit of a concern that he's rested after every run.
They're far apart. It's unusual.
But he's a lovely, lovely horse in the making, Clyde. I just don't know his well-being. Excuse me, Clyde. He's been off for 3 months, right? He's obviously got bigger fish to fry. Red Bomber, rested and gelded. Let's see how he goes. He's 2 from 3. Can't really knock him.
No.
And Mount Pilatus interests me too. He's done absolutely nothing wrong to date. Have a look at that form line, Clyde. Ready to charge and tail of the Comet one from there.
Sure,
so
it's quite a strong
I don't know.
field,
You
though.
be the judge of here. I'll
It's
tell you
strong.
something. You can empty out on the quartets here. Box 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't know how much of a profit you'll make, but you'll catch it.
Does appear to be those four, and all the form lines, they're all strong, etc. Work it out from there. It's going to be a very interesting race indeed, and it runs at 1:45. We've got a second jackpot, so maybe you want to get some money out of that. This is how we're doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any one of those four can win by 4 and 9, by 5 and 6, by 4, 5 and 7. Thanks for coming back to Betway Weighted to Win, everyone. Let's have a look. Race 6 says we, as Betway, pay your tax on horse racing wins. And this is a Pinnacle Stakes. Again, we'll ask Daryl to give us an idea about best weighted horses and all that sort of stuff. It's over 1,200 metres. How are they betting in this particular event? Well, let me tell you this much, that we've got number 4, Captain Hindsight, who's currently the favourite, and it's at 2-1. Number 9, Bard of Avon's 5-1, and number 1, MK's Pride, is at 6-1. The 5, Bon Vivant, is trading at 6-1, and you can get around 8-1. Almost like Dice, for example, is trading at 8. But it's a Pinnacle. Don't forget your Betway code. There it is. Scan away. Have a go. Open your account. Let your accounts be up and running. We're into the big season now, so no reason not to be betting where you're getting all that money back. Right, Mr. Marie. Captain Hindsight's been winning very well. I must say, one has been very impressed in the manner that this horse keeps winning.
Especially his latest victory, Clyde. His last 2 victories, but in his penultimate start, it was a bit of a weaker class. But last time out, for him to have knuckled down over 1,000 meters, he actually looked beaten during the running of that race, and he got going towards the end. And I think he's going to love the inside track, 1,200 meters, certainly course and distance suited. He's in great form. He's well drawn. I know he's not one of the best weighted, but I'm going against the best weighted in this race. I think the market have got it right. But in saying that, I do think they'll start closer in the market. I only like 2 horses in this race, Clyde. Captain Hindsight and Bard of Avon. Now, I think 5-1 Bard of Avon represents a lot of value, and I'll tell you why. He's only got 50.5 to shoulder. But listen to this, Clyde. It is his peak run, okay? And have a look at the horses drawn on his inside. The horses drawn 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one of them happens to be Captain Hindsight, but I don't think Chase will want to lead. I think he'll want to get one in front of him, and that's the way he likes running. So in my mind, Bard of Avon's going to get there quite comfortably. With 50.5 to shoulder on the inside track, Musi can time it perfectly, Clyde. Having his peak run I think the two of them will fight it out. So I'm not looking past numbers 4 and 9.
Okay, so a match race for Daryl. Both 4 and 9 are going into the play. It appears as if Captain Hindsight can win again and win rather well again. So if it's not Bard of Avon, perhaps it will be Captain Hindsight once again. Let's look at how this is all going to work out for us in terms of a pick 3. We're going 4 and 9 here, by 5 and 6 in the 7th race, by 4, 5 and 7 in the 8th race. Race number 7 now, the Betway Money Back Boost. It's a handicap over 1450 meters. The market, let's take a look at what they were doing this morning at around 10. Funky Music topped the boards at 22 to 10. You can watch the market now, give you an idea as to where, what's where, etc. Number 3, Mo Jive is the second choice at 7 to 2. 5, Kotinos is trading at 5 to 1, you can get at the moment. And number 2, Rattlebag, is currently trading at 11 to 2. They are betting 8 to 1 about the 6, Rain or Shine, and 11 to 1 and better about the others. If you haven't joined our WhatsApp group, there's the number for you, 0691643272. Just send your name and email address to that number and they'll add you to the group. And of course, we're on X as well. Our handle there is at Waiter to Win for the up-to-date information. All right, open your Betway account. There's an opportunity to do so. Use your code, go to the camera option, scan it, and it does that for you. All right, ladies and gents, let's move on. This is a race where I know, Daryl, throughout the day you've been going a couple of horses, boat races. Let's talk about the 7th race. Which are the 2 here?
I find this race very interesting, Clyde. You know, you mentioned my friend earlier. I'm going to mention him again.
Oh, okay.
My value friend. There's no 20 or 33 to 1 or 100 to 1 value shots over here, but there's value in the 5 to 1 Kotinos. Huge value.
In Kotinos?
Kotinos at 5 to 1.
Yes.
Wow.
Big price.
Big price.
Tell me why.
Clyde, 3 runs back.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, Clyde.
When he ran to Sir Yaverman.
That was a blinder. I mean, he was returning from a layoff. He needed that, and it was a cracking effort.
Okay.
So, turffontein mile, not his game, Clyde.
Right.
Stand side track is not his game. Last time out of his ground, I think the top 2 got away from them. He just had too much to do. It's a small field this time round. Course and distance is ideal.
Right.
Have a look who's in the irons. Rachel.
Yes.
She went through a quiet spell, Clyde. She's riding winners again.
Okay.
She's back riding well. Course and distance, like I said, Rachel, it's an apprentice handicap. They're going to go quick. It will suit him. It will settle in running. And I'll tell you something, at 5 to 1, I'm not letting this run loose.
And you say the last start was a stand-side track run, right? Was it or not?
It was a classic. Oh,
which
the
run
last
was it?
run was a classic Vaal Classic run.
And you say you prefers the inside track,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. He's 4 kilograms better off with Funky Music. Now, Clyde, we have to touch on the form updates with Funky Music.
Right.
Disappointing run, beaten 4.1 lengths by Wada Honey.
Yeah, that was just the other day.
27th out of 9th. So,
I saw that.
with the weight reversal, I think Kotinos has got a big chance of winning over here. I backed him up.
With?
Rain or Shine.
Okay.
Now, he has a horse that's got his issues and problems. But I think they got to the bottom of him now because he's running more frequently, Clyde. In his penultimate start, we liked him on that occasion. He delivered the goods. Last time out, have a look. Second run after rest, drawn 10 out of 10. Never in contention.
Okay.
Never in contention, Clyde. From a neat draw, I think if you can race handier or closer to the pace, I think he's a factor over here. I'm going 5 from 6, but I'm saying Kotinos, if you watch this race, if you watch this preview early on YouTube, have a strike early because I do believe it's going to shorten the market. Yeah.
Kotinos is going to shorten. You heard that from Daryl. Number 5, Kotinos is the horse to beat. It's 5 to 1 at the moment, and we're going for that with Rachel in this particular event. It's a handicap, and it is a race where the apprentices take one another on. Okay, well then what are we doing? It's our last double of the day. 5 and 6 is back up into 4, 5 and 7. 8th and final. Our next turffontein race meeting's on Saturday, the 7th of October. This is a middle stakes and it's run over 2,600 meters. If you haven't opened your Betway account, this is an opportunity for you to do so. With all the huge specials going on, there's the code. Just scan away and remember, you need to do what you need to do. Right, so what's the plan? Well, the market's got breeze overs. A couple of the horses that met last time are back in here. 4 breeze over, 16 to 10. 6 American Grayson is trading at 22 to 10. And 7 Rulebook is up at 7 to 1. Just before I go to Daryl Marie, I'm going to quickly introduce this rerun and ask Daryl to talk us through it as well, where all of breeze over, American Grayson and Rulebook are back. Of course, Battleground would have been in here, but well, part of it, but he's been taken out. He's not running anymore. See, Craig Zaki opted to ride that, but he won't be riding that anymore. Let's take a look and we'll identify the horses. So if you look out for breeze over, there are breeze overs in the white sleeves and the red cap.
Red noseband.
And the red noseband. American Grayson's behind in the American colours, the red and the blue and the white. And then Rulebook, if you're watching, is in the purple on the extreme right. What caught your eye here?
Well, firstly, it got a bit tight for breeze over on the outside fence, Clyde. But Jazz also it's ultra consistent, so he has to go into all bets. But have a look at American Grayson. When Caden Brewer switches that stick, have a look at the ground he makes up in the latter stage. There you go. He changed the whip over there.
Yes.
And you can see he's still running behind horses, but have a look at the ground he makes up over here.
Yeah. Yeah, and they looked. He does seem to be the most progressive in as far as that race is concerned, making it up. A lot of them are getting tired as well, so you've got to take that into account. But you're right. He was, as he changed legs, got into it, and he started running on quite strongly. So is it the 3 again? Is it those 3?
I do believe so. Clyde, we have to touch on this. Now, have a look at Moosey's stats with Michael and Adam Azzi.
Yes.
9 runners, 3 winners.
Okay.
Have a look at Gavin for Tyrone Zaki. 11 runners, 4 winners.
Sure.
So when they team up, Clyde,
they're close.
It's going to be an interesting race. I mean, obviously, Breeze over beat American Grayson, and he's better off at the weights. But American Grayson's really caught the eye last time out, so I don't think I want to separate the two of them. Maybe slight preference for American Grayson because Breeze over tends to run around and always finds one too good for him. But I don't think there'll be much separating the two of them. And I've got healthy respect for Rulebook. When we watched that replay, he wasn't doing much in the latter stage. It was a disappointing effort, Clyde, but this horse deserves one more chance. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him fight it out with the 2 that I've mentioned previously. So Trifecta's quartets focus on numbers 4, 5, and 7.
Okay. There are no spooks in here, huh? There's nothing really that's going to come and shock us.
Let's hope it runs forth.
Grab us at 60, 61. Yeah. All right, good. Those are the 3. Thank you very much. I think that's the call in as far as the last race is concerned. We appreciate. Hope you guys have had a pleasant day. And we look forward to catching up with you once again when Betway brings you Weighted to Win on Wednesday. Here's the final call in terms of what we like. Well, Daryl going with an exacta and he's boxing all of 4, 5, and 7.